We are lost in the darkness. Oh yes, starting off with a dark and mysterious show. Not all of these shows are mysterious though. There were a large variety of shows that made my top 20 this year. And that's out of all 89 WGI finalist shows that I saw at UD Arena this past weekend. At number 20, we have Sparkman High School, a bunch of masked guys searching for the light. I definitely like the tenor feature with the splash cymbals. This was definitely a nod to the Cavaliers 2001 tenor feature. Oh, massive throwback right there. As we go, we are adding LED lights to the uniforms. Our flute player guides us through the darkness, and we find the light within. We are giving all we have until there is nothing left. The trees and flowers give us life, and Monarch gives us a crazy, amazing performance. Funny enough, this was another show that had a flute player that was handing out light to the members, done in a much different way than Sparkman did, though. From this view, you can see them holding the prop with the light, but from the audience, it really looked like it was a magic trick. It was pretty amazing. But Flow Marching is out here revealing all the secrets. Cool props, cool parts, cool production from Monarch. Telling a story about telling a story. Ooh, storyception. This story involves some of the cleanest beats in the circuit. Our young listener here is attentive for the entire production. She has by far the best seat in the house. She must have paid extra for those VIP seats. And at the end, we are passing on the story to the next generation for them to build even crazier chops next year. Well, this sure was a sweet throwback to my childhood, playing Candyland with the whole fam. That was always a good time. Old Bridge takes us on an adventure exploring the different areas of Sugar Wonderland. We're giving tasty beats a new meaning as our gingerbread drummers throw it down. This show left me hungry for more. Another throwback to my childhood, Toy Story. That was my second favorite movie, right after The Brave Little Toaster, of course. This show is basically the same premise as the third Toy Story movie, as we are coping with the sad reality that our toys may never be played with again. But the toys manage to stay positive despite their hard-knock life of abandonment. We are flying right out of the gate here with a snare feature and into the beats immediately. The props and TV were very cool effects for this show. I felt like I was in an episode of Fast and the Furious for this one. But we did have some technical difficulties with just one of those TVs. Hate to see it. This show was a fast-paced mad dash all the way through, no stopping for anything. After this, I drove my Corolla 200 miles per hour all the way back home to New Jersey. I made great timing. We have all kinds of differently shaped glass shards. Careful, don't cut yourself. Throughout the production, we learned how the world is constantly changing shape based on advancements in technology, and to embrace the reshape. Some of the DCI old heads, they don't approve of that message. As always, United has some crazy staging with lights and movable props. This created a very futuristic visual display. Some of you probably know already that I marched United back in the day for 4 years, and it's good to see them still going strong and having one of my favorite shows once again. The Carousel of Life, starting out with some big bouncy balls, a throwback to their 2007 show, another one of my favorites. Some very creative use of props as we tell this guy's life story. The carousel keeps turning until we make it all the way around, life to death. RCC is out here with all the emotions. Well done. Starting on the ground and gradually rising up. Kinda similar to Pulse's concept, and we'll get back to that one in a little bit. I definitely liked the rolling drums on the ground at the beginning of the show. That was a very cool idea. We also had these massive spinning props that looked absolutely crazy. But they really teased us with this ending here, because after they spun the props around, the snare drummers went up on top of that, and I thought we were about to see some crazy Mandarin-style toaster prop flipping. But we didn't. No spinning snare drummers for this show. Although being that high up in the air is pretty crazy and probably terrifying enough. I still wanted to see them flip though. Maybe next time. There was one group that did have a spinning drummer though. This is Groove Pursuit. Although they did not make my top 20 list, this moment definitely deserves an honorable mention.
From Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
26 spins! This ties the Mandarin's record for the most flips during a band show, according to the flippy twisty reference chart here. Congratulations on the record, and also congratulations for not barfing during this. Every day is cardio day when you're with Chino Hills. These guys ran so fast that they earned a gold medal. First place in the Scholastic World class. Let's go. I definitely like these massive pendulum props. It shows off that perpetual motion to keep the energy going and going forever. Just like the Energizer Bunny. Definitely a fun show, and I am suddenly inspired to go for a jog after I finish recording this video. After you're gone and dead, what will you leave behind to show that you were here? Well, for me, it'll be thousands and thousands of YouTube videos. But for Infinity, it will be this absolute banger of a show. They even played the quote-unquote impossible 1916 time signature song, Threshold by Sungazer. Infinity is out here living their best lives and definitely leaving an impression on me as a viewer. I also want to mention this, I definitely liked how after they laid down in the coffins at the end that they, didn't just immediately bolt up and start panicking and trying to get all the stuff off the floor worrying about penalties. They were chilling for like 5 to 10 seconds. And there was a few other groups that did this too for the dramatic effect at the end. Infinity was very, very good. Liked this show a lot, definitely worth checking it out. Our poor main character starts the show out with a brutal breakup. He translates his emotional pain into his writing, but slowly devolves into the monster himself. Oh yes, I love shows that take us down the dark path. He is completely overcome by his anger and sadness. His now ex-girlfriend is all that he can think of. Sounds like he can really use a night out with the boys or something. I don't know. Someone let me know when this book gets published, because I really want a copy. There is no turning back once this production begins. I was immediately hooked. Once again, Matrix brings a unique show package to the arena. We've got some movable television stages and also a marching front ensemble. I guess technically it's not a front ensemble anymore. That's a lot of wireless electronics to account for. Major props to them for making all of that work flawlessly. The tenor/marimba interactive feature was a very cool moment. We all must keep moving forward in life, connecting the dots from all of our past experiences as we go. Hopefully the experience of you watching my review video will inspire you to check out this show, because it was a very good one. Ah yes, The Desire for Power, a classic tale done in a unique way by Center Grove High School. Epic battles and spear fights take place as we go on. I love epic battles and spear fights. The golden necklace switches off as we go on, showing who is really in charge. A very aggressive and exciting show overall, and we end up with the center snare on top. Makes sense, they had a really, really cool and clean snare feature moments before. Blackbirds singing in the dead of night, and by singing we mean chopping, cause these birds are playing notes. As expected, Rhythm X has some crazy cool licks and a captivating show once again. I certainly enjoyed watching it, and hopefully it enjoyed watching me with these massive eyes staring directly down into my soul. Rhythm X is another group that I always enjoy their style of show design, and once again they are placing pretty high up on my list as a result. Very cool arrangements, very cool beats, very cool show. So I've never seen a dog show before, but if they are anywhere near as entertaining as this, then I think I found my new favorite sport. Paradigm once again brings us a hilarious and crowd-pleasing show. I was smiling in my seat ear to ear the whole time this was going on. Apparently the judges weren't though, because they scored them dead last somehow. The judges probably changed the channel during the Sarah McLachlan ad and missed the rest of the show.
For only $1 a day, you can provide a loving, happy home for a dog in need.
It seems like less and less groups are doing funny shows every single year, and that's a shame, because funny shows are always the most entertaining. Everyone's so serious, we need more humor to go around. Paradigm knows how to do it well though, once again putting on one of my favorite shows of the year. We are leaving our prints behind on everything, in a memorable kind of way, not a crime scene kind of way. And this show was, for sure, a memorable one. The tap dancing snare feature was a very unique moment. And of course, I am going to talk about this bass drum feature. This might have been my favorite feature of the entire night. Thanks to this feature, all the bass drummers, they can now drum for metal bands. Or maybe they were all metal drummers before they did Drumline. I don't know. We end this show with our visual ensemble doing handstands on the bass drum pedals. Very cool show with an absolutely epic ending. Dartmouth is bringing the art to life. These IRL Picasso people are throwing down the notes as we tour the gallery. This show is absolutely wild, and I loved every second of it. The unhatched chicks part, this is probably the silliest and most brilliant idea I've seen ever. He approves. And finally, we end up in a storm on the sea, being showered in color. Quite the wild adventure of a show. Definitely one of my favorites. We are drawing the line between hip-hop and rock and roll, and that line is a red line, not to be confused with Red Line, a completely different drum line. I really liked the music in this show. It's an interesting mix of styles, sampling the actual lyrics of rock and hip-hop songs. This tenor feature with the rimshot sensors over the curse words, this was one of the coolest things I've heard in a while. I actually do that in my videos all the time. Whenever there's a curse word, I put a skank shot to cover up the curse. Wait, skank is a curse word? And I mentioned before how silence, that can add a lot of effect to the show design. Well, Mystique is out here taking that idea to the max. Such a cool moment that had the biggest audience participation I've ever seen in the middle of a WGI show, making it even more effective. I definitely enjoyed this entire production, another very unique show package from Music City Mystique. When you grow up, what do you want to be? If you said YouTuber, I support your decision. It is a very cool job. Pulse is out here growing up to their full potential, playing a ton of notes as always, and winning first place as always. Yes, this is the third year in a row Pulse has got the gold medal. But more importantly, winning the EMCProductions gold medal for top 20 rankings. Here is your virtual EMC medal. I definitely appreciated the extreme difficulty of all of the music throughout this whole show. The split Hi Mom shot feature, oh, this thing was crazy. We start small with a few simple props, at least I thought they were simple at the beginning. We rise, we fall, we get back up again, bigger than ever, surpassing all expectations, until the stage is just an overwhelming blast of purple in all directions, extending 20 feet up into the air. Epic show with an epic ending and an epic gold medal. Congrats to Pulse. To see last year's top 20 WGI percussion rankings, you can click this video right here, and have a good morning.